Hello, faithful listeners. This week, we start off with the riveting world of Costco Optical. Try not to fall asleep. But don't worry, we're going to make it up to you with a little bit of heel talk. The Louboutins I got in Paris are crippling me. Then we get into the real fun, ranking the Real Housewives franchises. And yes, Real Housewives of Atlanta is at the top, because duh. We also chat about when it's actually worth upgrading to first class, and the kinds of brutally honest things only a sister can say to you. Of course, we wrap it all up with our weekly ins and outs. Thanks for joining.
Okay. I don't fear no man, but I'ma still put 60 in this Drake. Set it off like Queen Latifah, nigga playing with my cake. Split the bag up with my brother, 50-50 what we made. I can't let no nigga eat that ain't contribute to this plate. Run it up, I just need 30.
Why, hello there.
Hello. Hello, Governor. Welcome back.
Hello, peasant. Hey, pretty and proud listeners. This is your host, Kiki.
And I'm your host, Ken.
And I'm switching my accent for no reason.
I was watching someone talk about how when they were on Harry Potter, they went full Australian instead of British.
I find that I'm like a sponge in some ways on accident. Australian and British are closely linked for me. You know, colonizers. So that's fine.
Yeah.
But when I wasn't traveling to India, the last time I had traveled like that was Paris. So I was finding myself seamlessly slipping into my fake Parisian accent. I was like, I wanted to be like, oh, bonjour, as I'm boarding the plane. I'm like, wait, I don't know how it relates, but yeah, so.
Yeah, I feel like I often will slip into an Australian accent when I'm trying to do specifically not my British Jones's Diary British accent, but if I'm trying to do anything like Irish or Scottish, it will just quickly transition over to, yeah, you know, good eye.
Down here on the body. I wanted to let our fortunate or unfortunately listeners know that I could not find the Oreos with Reese's. It's really actually kind of humiliating trolling gas stations. So I tried to go to Walgreens, trolled it, didn't see it. They had a box up at the checkout that had Reese's Oreos, the whole design. I looked in that box twice. There was no Reese's with Oreos in there, you stupid bee. So then before we started podcasting, I went to Walmart. Also no Reese's Oreos. They did have the Oreo Reese's, which is very disappointing. They had the Oreo orange.
Reese's, so the Reese's with Oreos.
No, the Oreos with the Reese's peanut butter cups.
That's what I want. What are you trying to get?
No, I'm trying to get the Reese's peanut butter cup with the Oreos inside.
Oh.
That's what we haven't tried yet.
I see.
So they had also the Oreos with the orange stuff in it, which I feel like it's just regular Oreos with really a lot of food coloring. So, but I still kind of want to get it. I don't know. I like fall. So I did get us Reese's Pumpkins, and they had Reese's Ghosts, white only. So, you know, I was like, oh, I want brown Reese's Ghosts. But I was like, oh, I guess that don't play in the Midwest. So
no such thing. Only the whites would come back to haunt.
Only the whites come back. So anyways, we'll have to circle. I know you guys have been dying to see us eat more food on this podcast. Mind you, I'm trying to find the timestamps yesterday in bed, and also I'm editing it. It's sick. It's like, all right. I'm thinking about just like mouthful. I mean, you can see the white of the cream cheese coating my mouth, even from the distance that we're sitting at from the camera. I'm like, bro, you actually probably shouldn't publish that, but there's some gems dropped in there. And in the end, I say something about how you're so bossy, but your mouthful, you're like, where, go. I'm like, what? It's too much. So you guys are lucky, maybe, that I didn't find it.
I was listening to the audio edit, and it was this one part where I literally just had my entire mouth full, and I said an entire sentence to you.
Yes. Ridiculous.
And I was like, I cannot believe you kept that in. Not to mention I was yelling at my dog to stop begging.
Well, it was like, if you're going to leave it all in, leave it all in,
Yeah, real behind the scenes deep cut that's just smack dab.
And I feel like I want to clarify, when we're in public, we don't eat like that. We were in the comfort of our home, so it's okay to talk with our mouth full of food, smacking down, cream cheese flying. So yeah. Anyways, how's your week been?
I feel like it's been very unproductive
Oh.
of what I would like it to be.
But you got those cute new glasses.
I'll date get these. I actually have this whole thing where I have 2 vision insurances because I really like Costco Optical, and my actual vision insurance through my job does not offer that. So I got secondary optical insurance just so that I could purchase my frames and lenses from Costco Optical.
Okay.
Went to pick up my glasses. I was so excited. I got 2 because Costco runs a special where if you get 2, you get like an extra $50 off or something like that. You know, maybe $40 off or something like that, right? And so I got 2 frames, 2 lenses, and I had gotten the notification that one was ready. So I was waiting for the second one. I don't need to make 2 trips. I'm not dying for these. So I finally got the second text. I go into Costco. I try these pair on. And even though my prescription didn't change, it's always still a little jarring to like put on a brand new frame and lens.
It is.
So I tried these on, and then I tried the other pair that I got, and thank God Costco's as big as it is, because I was like looking around for distance, and I was like, no, there's something wrong with this. Like, one of these isn't right. I thought it was my left eye, but she checked it, and it was actually my right eye. The prescription that they put in the lens was slightly off. Ooh. So they had to send that back. And so now I just have this singular... So I still have to make 2 trips, you know,
that's like so annoying
me. But that's the first time that's happened to me.
Yeah, in all these years. There's something about I don't know why it's exciting to get a new pair of glasses, but it just is. I guess I just like new stuff. I'm really materialistic because I'm like, I don't even need a new pair of glasses. I get one every year. I always try to, like, one year I was like, well, let me just get this cheap throw-around pair, you know, like, whatever. It still ended up being $200 out of pocket. And, like, I don't understand this magic eyeglass math where, like, I just never understand it. Last year I was like, okay, let me get another pair. And it looks exactly like a different pair I have. I was like, okay, that was $500 to look the same. I don't love that. But now I have like 5 or 6 pair of eyeglasses. And I love that. But I've also noticed one time I got a new pair of the really big frames I have, and the prescription was the same, but like where they placed it in my eye, like it wasn't right. And so it felt really weird. I felt like I was gonna fall off a cliff when I was walking, and I tried to adjust, and then I went back and they were like, oh, we have to move the prescription of where we placed it in the lens. Interesting.
That is interesting. What do you mean? It's not the entire lens?
I guess not, because of how the size of them or something. I don't know, but that's why they're looking. They put that thing to laser where your eye is to measure like where your eyes look out. Like, I guess.
Interesting.
So, I don't know. But
at Costco, they just put a pen where my pupil is. Yeah. Well, I have to go back again. And
can't wait to see the new pair.
They're pretty basic. They're different than anything I have because they're like a brown, slightly more square frame. They're Tom Ford. Cute. I don't have a pair of Tom Ford eyeglasses, and they are more of like a square brown tortoise shell type.
I love it.
Aesthetic. And these are my first rose gold wireframes. I don't have a lot of wireframe glasses because I don't typically like my eyeglasses to have these nose pads.
Yeah.
Because I like to be able to put things up on my
head. I totally
and
agree.
The curly hair travesty.
But it's a nice little different look, you know? It's a little sexy Harry Potter.
It's totally Harry Potter. First of all, they were rose gold, number one.
Love that.
And then I also have never had, like, I don't know, Valentino. I was looking at these and I was like, yeah, eyeglasses are fucking scams because this is not any premium material.
No.
It's just a Valentino stamp on the side of these. Like, I could have gotten the Michael Kors ones.
100. You know which ones I get the most compliments on? It's not the Tiffany's. It's the Michael Kors and the Swarovski, and those are my throw-around pair. The ones I leave in my car. I don't care about those at all. I put them in my purse without even a case sometimes. Yeah. And those are the ones people are like, so cute.
I do feel like even though I've run out of my insurance, like it's so affordable to just get eyeglasses at Costco that I'm like, I should just go back and find some more, because the problem with my eye doctor. I'm sure this is the most engaging commentary for our viewers and listeners. But the problem with my eye doctor is that when I was using that insurance, even though it was a decent allowance on frames and lenses, by the time I pick out the glasses, because they have the newest designer eyeglasses and shit, I'm $600 even with insurance. And it's like, that's actually, and I just feel like it's a freaking scam. Like, why does it cost so much? Everything's a charge. Oh, you want the blue filter?
You want the non-glare?
Yeah, like, you want the anti-glare? It's like,
and then they're like, well, you already have it, so you should like definitely get it again. I'm like, okay, but you don't understand. This is my 6th pair of eyeglasses. Like, I actually don't need that for every pair. Like, I'm just trying to match fits. Like, I don't actually care about the function of these.
So it's just annoying. So for $600, I'm like, for the same price, I could go to Costco, and I paid $400 for the 2 pairs.
You have been bringing up Costco Optical for years, and maybe it's time for me to actually just try it.
I like it because, one, they make it simple. There's no, the lens is the lens. The only thing you pay an upcharge for is if you want transitions.
And that's I don't. It. I should, though.
It's like, my eye doctor was like, oh, you want the thin material? That's extra. You want this other basic material. So at Costco, it's like everything. This is the lens. It's the thin material. It comes with the anti-glare. Comes with the blue light or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's and the lens is, I think, $65.
I think the other thing is that I actually want to pre-shop lenses before I choose where to go, because I would like to find something I like, but that's very hard to do. Frames, yes. Pre-shot frames. Yeah, thank you. It could be difficult to do. And sometimes I go, I've been to Costco with you before. I'm like, I don't like any of these.
Yeah.
But then I go to my last eye doctor. I'm like, I just ended up with the same pair and it was really expensive. So,
yeah. I mean, my eye doctor had really nice frames, and I go to Costco and they have designer frames there, but I can tell because of the frames that I had gotten from my eye doctor, they're getting them slightly later.
They're the outlet frames?
They're later in the season, right?
Oh, okay.
Imagine that okay, you're finally getting those Gucci frames, but you had to wait a year before Costco's able to get them, essentially.
Okay, which I guess is fine.
Which is
fine.
Wait
a year all the time anyways.
Exactly. But. It's okay, well, if I wasn't seeing it first here, it's not like I'm dying. I'm like, oh my God, I need these frames.
It's not
I've never done that. So I'll just wait for last season's diamond.
Well, you look great in them. I love them.
Thank you.
In other boring news, I got that pair of Louboutins in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
I've been practicing. I put them on the other day, and I was like, this actually don't hurt that bad today.
Whatever cognitive dissonance tell you.
No, it didn't hurt on the right foot. The left foot, because I broke that toe twice, I'm like, yeah, it's really jamming in on there. So then today I was working before I got over here on some of my mentorship program stuff, and I put, oh man, it was not feeling so good. I'm like, I must have worn my sandals too much today, because I put them in. I was like, my toes is bent in there. I'm like, okay, it's going to work. We're getting better. So in about 3 years, I'll be able to use these shoes finally.
I can't wait for the event that you finally decide to step out in.
They're so gorgina, but because one, they need to be broken in, and 2, I'm more of a platform or a wedge girl. You really got to learn to walk in a stiletto pump, and not only do they hurt, I look ugly. I look like a Bambi. I'm can't walk. So
I feel like the things that I've seen have told me that the trick is you just can't walk on your actual heel. You have to walk on your toes.
Yeah, if my toes weren't curled under. No, it's the way, yeah. So I feel like I have to break them in so that they feel less numbing. I don't know how Zendaya does it, honestly. I don't know how she's pulling it off in the even taller heel. But they look so good that I actually was shopping the site for more shoes.
Stop. The lie I tell myself is the reason I can't wear those types of shoes is because I don't have the right body type for it.
I feel like it makes your body look better. But I do think, I told you, I was like, if I lose weight, will it be easier? Because your feet do get smaller when you lose weight. I've been there before. And then also, it's less heavy on the shoe. So we're just going to skinny up.
Ultimately, I just feel like my feet don't want to be in that position.
I don't care.
They don't want to.
I'm watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City right now, because I'm going to Utah. So I'm like, you know what? Let's prepare. Also, I see clips of Mary Cosby, and she's insane and hilarious. And I've decided that I love this crazy woman that married her step-grandpa. She's so funny. She's in the season 1, she's fighting with Jen Shah because Jen Shah was at the hospital. Her aunt was dying. She had to have both her legs amputated. Mary knew this, and when
her aunt did, or the person on the show,
Jen Shah's aunt, was going through this. She's at the hospital for 9 days. When she came to an event after, Mary was like, "Oh, it smells like hospital." really upset at Mary because she's like, but to me, I'm like, honestly, is that
I don't
the
want
worst?
to smell that either.
Like, Mary's like, well, I have like a trigger about it because I spent 9 days in the hospital and I was getting all my sweat glands removed and like I almost died, and so like I can just smell it on people. And I'm thinking, okay, it was a little insensitive, but like ultimately she was just making a comment about it smelled like hospital. I don't know why you're turning it into all of that, but like Mary goes in her question, she's like, well, she does smell like hospital. It's not my fault that your aunt got her legs chopped off. Like, why'd she have to lose her legs at 60? She's unhealthy. Like, and so
oh, wow.
She's a little crazy. But anyways, I'm watching it, and I don't know. These women in the 40s and 50s wearing these. I mean, they are wearing Louboutins, but also pumps around. I'm like, dude, it's actually kind of a sleigh. Looks great. I'm trying to manifest.
Yeah,
okay?
but I'm with you. I especially with like how tall I am and my like probable center of gravity, like I need the additional support of a platform in my heels.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't mind wearing a heel, but you got to lift my foot into a more natural position by putting it in a platform.
That's Baby Town Frolics. Everyone can wear a platform.
Baby town frolics.
You know, like. Not every girl can squeeze her foot Cinderella style or Cinderella stepsister style into a shoe.
Drusilla.
Drusilla. Yeah. So, plus it's just a different vibe. It's a different look. We got to dress it up. And I always love wearing heels because I love being tall. But also in my head, I tell myself, well, if I'm 6 foot and how much I weigh, then I'm actually skinnier. Technically, you know, that makes me skinnier because I could be a little. Heavier because now I'm taller. So, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways. But Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I am liking it. And I'm trying to take a
Where
break
does
from
it
my
rank
TikTok.
in the Real Housewives that you've seen?
Okay, well, RHOA's first, always. I
Okay.
mean, honestly, anytime, we've talked about this before, if someone has a Housewives ranking and they love Real Housewives and they've never seen Real Housewives of Atlanta, you're racist. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, because it's literally the blueprint. I think it put Real Housewives on the map. I know it wasn't the first one there, but it's one that made it iconic. I was watching a clip on TikTok the other day of just the episode where Kim is performing in the club. Just that episode alone has so many moments. Like, Kim thinks she really is a pop star. Really, Kim? I mean, she was singing over a backing track. That was like the talent shows at my son's school, you know? Like, so, and it's just so RHOA's first. I would say, honestly, in one season, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is probably... No, maybe Beverly Hills, but it's got so stupid after Lucy Apple Juicy. But the
Once
opulence
Lisa
is more fun.
Vanderpump left Beverly Hills,
It's really bad.
But the thing is like they did bring in Garcelle,
And I do love Garcelle, but Kyle's so annoying. I can't
really
stand Kyle
annoying.
Richards. Like, oh my gosh, she's like, and she does not know how to read a bitch. So it's like, it's just so frustrating to watch a 12-season arc of this woman try to self-produce, and like, it's just like annoying. But the opulence in that show is less attainable and much more fun to watch.
Yes.
You know. But also they're really going downhill. I mean, we're talking about renovating your condo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not why I watch Beverly Hills. Then Salt Lake City. Original New York is iconic. And then OC is the original and is closest to our hometown. So like, I feel like that's the one that first got me into it, but it's not great. You know, it's also gone really downhill. And then I've never seen
That one
Potomac.
was rough too. Like, I mean, once they expanded outwards, it's really
rough.
It drops down the ladder.
Like notoriously racist. So now you have a bunch of rich white ladies on a show. I know what's going on behind the scenes, you know. And this season they have a really bad arc against the one woman of color who's Asian. Everyone's against her, and it's like, well, yeah, it's Orange County, you know.
Wow.
I'm sure Potomac's great. I just stopped watching Real Housewives a lot, and I mostly keep up with like Beverly Hills and stuff through TikTok. But I want to catch Potomac, and then I've never seen Miami. And
I've also never seen Miami.
I've never seen Dallas, which is canceled now.
I've never seen any of these secondary cities.
Yeah, the secondary cities I'm not caught up on. So yeah, I guess it's second or third, depending on which season of Beverly Hills you're talking about. But Salt Lake City has an interesting dynamic, and
I've
it's
never
really
watched
interesting.
Salt Lake City.
Is that Mary Cosby is not the only woman of color on there, but she is black, and it's a different dynamic, I think, than a lot of the other, like, you know, Beverly Hills, they put Garcelle on there, who's iconic and the best, but like, you just sense there's always an underlying.
She's like the odd man
out. But the way that it is in Salt Lake City is like these women actually, they like are real friends in a way, and really are in this like weird friend group, and like the way that Mary Cosby's behavior is, it's almost like they actually want her approval. And she's an absolute psychopath. And so like she can say, so it's just like a different dynamic. And like the race doesn't play as much into it because of I don't know, for some reason. It's just like, it's very different.
I might be interested in watching that then. I stopped watching Housewives, one, because I did not care about any of these secondary cities like Dallas, Miami. And then also once NeNe left Atlanta.
It's lame.
And like you kind of, there's a lot about like allegedly Andy Cohen and stuff like that. So it's just like, we didn't even talk about New Jersey, which to me was also like the first secondary city. It was like, how can you have New York next to New Jersey? Like no one cares, but like then that had its own iconic.
It's pretty iconic. Jersey's pretty iconic. They're crazy. Like
they're insane.
Yes. You're right. I did forget New Jersey.
Forgot about Jersey.
But that's also a hard watch because I don't envy their life because I don't envy them as people. Their lifestyle, maybe, but it's like, I don't want to be Teresa Giudice. So
no.
Pre or post jail. And so it's like,
Yeah, to me, it went like for entertainment value, I really obviously agree that Atlanta is number one.
Upper echelon.
Every season. It didn't matter what they were getting into. I wanted to follow them on that journey.
Yes.
That tour bus that they were on. That's kind of like our Bonnaroo RV experience.
Yeah.
Minus the fighting. It was just us sitting on this like RV. But like Atlanta and then Beverly Hills for me. Because to your point, Beverly Hills I felt like was the first in the franchise that actually introduced the concept of true fuck you money wealth on the wealth that none of us will be able to obtain.
Absolutely.
Because we did not marry producers in Hollywood that have and are getting multi-million-dollar settlements. I mean, Kelsey Grammer's ex-wife Camille was on that. So it's
also
like
a lunatic, but allegedly.
But it's like, and then like Kyle and Kim are so boring, and also like the way that they did Kim, I did not appreciate on that show. But like their connection to the Hiltons as well as their own claims to fame.
And also, what made it interesting and realizing is that these people were, because of their location, like Lisa Rinna, whatever, but like she's someone that you recognize, you know. So like that made it cool because you're like, okay, I'm kind of gonna like, and also Kim and Kyle, I guess if you grew up with them, I didn't, but that made it cool too because it's like, oh, like a real celebrity, and they have celebrity friends. Now they have Jennifer Tilly on the show, like that's, and Garcelle obviously is like, so it's a different dynamic. You're right.
Even though it's the same blueprint of like we're putting a bunch of people who probably normally would not mix. Like if these people had a choice, like I don't think any of them would consider one another friends outside of the fact that they have to film this show.
Together, yeah. But I feel like in Atlanta they kind of were.
Well, yeah, I feel like they all kind of knew each other from like whatever their scene was,
which is cool. And I have to say that Atlanta season 1 to this day I think holds up. Like unlike any other show. Like I feel like I could go back and watch Real Housewives of Atlanta and I want to actually. We need to. But like someone on TikTok I saw comment like, I can't get through season 1. It's just such bad quality. Season 1 it sets the standard. Okay, are you kidding me? Watching the arc of Kim and NeNe be best friends to enemies to frenemies is one of the best, greatest pieces of television in modern history. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad. Like, I feel like they also made a lot of good adjustments. They were quicker to let go of people that were boring.
Yes.
Because everyone was like bringing it. So they did not hold on to Sheree every single season. They did not hold on to. Oh my God, her name is not Lucy.
She was so boring we forgot.
She was married to the football player.
Yeah, Deshaun. I feel like
Deshaun, and then there was the other one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, Lisa.
Lisa, thank you. So like they got boring enough that I forgot about
boring.
And they tried to hold on to the idea, which was so funny to me, like the reverse element of like, we need a white woman. I mean, Kim actually knew and also was rocking with like
I did
wealth.
like the reverse element.
So like, but the reverse element of we need a token white on this show was just also so other people can relate.
Also, I love I actually hate Kenya Moore's character.
I love Kenya.
But I will say that sometimes you're watching scenes. Like, to me, when Portia hit her, totally deserved. I'm sorry, you're blowing an air horn in my, like, yeah, you're getting beat the fuck down, bitch. Like, I don't care. But when I was watching the scene of, I think it's season 6 or 7, like, they have multiple times where they end up, like, ganging up on someone that's trying to join their group. But, like, you can see Kenya stirring shit in the background. Like, she's getting stoked at these people, like, bringing up drama. She's like, one lady was confronting Candy. She's like, oh, yeah, my husband told me that you guys briefly dated in 7th grade. Candy's like, well, no, like it was actually longer than that, but like it's not a big deal. And then she's like, no, I'm not the only one that dated him. Phaedra dated him too. and Kenya's face is like, and then at some point, he turns to Cynthia. She's like, and Candy goes, well, you could say that you knew things about Todd, but like, it's like, I didn't say that to Cynthia when I knew things about Peter. Cynthia's like, it's just so funny watching it happen. And Kenya's like, and then she like pokes the bear. And I'm like, that is what Kenya knows to clock in and to clock tea. But the problem I have with Kenya is that like, I don't always like the way that she does it. Like, I don't mind you being obvious about it, but like, it's almost like aggressively, like the blowhorn thing was too much, that was too much for me. That was the moment I was like, I can't with you. Like, you're stirring the pot in the wrong way. Like, it's like an actual villain instead of like what do you call someone who's like a smart villain? A super villain. She's a villain, not a super villain.
Oh,
I'll go with that.
I like that.
Whereas I feel like Nini's like a super villain because like she's not trying to be a villain, and I don't think she's a villain. I think she's a hero. But like
she's an anti-hero.
She's an anti-hero, right? Like she's not trying to. She just is that way, and it's like that's way different than like you just want to be that way, but you're not. You just don't. You're not that girl. So
I personally liked what Kenya brought to the show, and I felt like it was an interesting dynamic, and maybe it's because of the timing. I would have to go back and rewatch, but it's like, oh, thank God, a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Like someone else who is, just on the scene. Because at some point they kept Cynthia around a little too long.
She was really boring.
Where it's like, girl, I don't care about like
the whole her
anything
being mad at Nini for calling Peter a bitch. I know you gotta stand by your man, but he was acting like a bitch. I mean, he does need to stay out of grown women's business. Like, and he was a little too involved in the women's business. And I didn't like that Nini apologized and she accepted the apology and then still held a grudge. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well then don't accept the apology. But also like, Nini didn't say he was a bitch. She said he was acting like a bitch. And that was a factual statement. So just saying. And also I feel like Candy, we always needed Candy, but she was also could be really boring.
Ebbs and flows for me depending on the season. Cause like Candy's an interesting element to the show where I felt like of all of the housewives, I felt like she was truly the wealthiest.
Yes.
And the smartest.
Most talented.
And
a great like, business
person. But there was a lot of stuff where it's like they made it hard for me to want to watch her story because her mom was too involved in stuff.
Much.
It was a little bit like it was just a little bit too much.
But
and
Candy
like,
getting so upset about things like no one talking about my mom. It's actually hilarious. Like
I did like that. Like I felt like she could hold her own, and that was what a lot of I think the women probably struggled with.
Yeah,
if they struggled with anything.
I totally agree. A little boring, could hold her own, a little interesting. Mama Joyce was a hard watch. Ugh. And honestly, what Nene wrote in that blog post wasn't wrong. Sorry, like it was true. Her mom kind of did act a little low down. Like maybe no one wants to hear that about their mom, but you watch that show back, she's a little, she could say some nasty stuff. So yeah,
that's the interesting thing where I'm like, if we were ever to find ourselves on a reality show in some way, it's like, who would we allow to be part of that like circle? Because all of these people basically like have to set up these dates with friends that they then bring in, and like they have to mic up Mama Joyce, So it's like, do you see us? Like I just think about that, like,
Yeah, I mean,
would I, have these like let's go shopping and like I'm calling up my friend to like come on we got to get mic'd up and like talk about this goss.
I feel like I would totally bring all my friends, like because I'm like, I feel like they're hopefully discerning enough to keep their mouth shut where they can, but like, you ain't gonna make a fool of me, like so.
Yeah.
But how would I
probably the trap that Candy fell into, where it's like, okay, I hang out with my mom all the time, I can't not have her on the show, but then her mom thought that she was an additional cast member, essentially, and like tried to insert herself too much.
Well, and I think Candy's real problem is that she obviously is very enmeshed with her mom, and she can't remove herself enough to see where people are coming from, Like, I don't think it's too much to talk about your mom, and honestly, like, everyone has the rule, don't talk about the kids. Okay, fine, that's fine, but like, let's not extend that to all family. No one can talk about anyone's family. Like, that's crazy. So, like, I feel like we're I don't know. I'm not on a reality show, but I'm in tune enough to like if mom got on a show and was acting crazy like Mama Joyce and someone said she was acting crazy, I would at least be like, yeah, I can see where someone would think that. She's a grown woman. What do I care? You know, she can act however she wants to act. Like that type of comment instead of like, no, my mom never did anything wrong. How dare you say anything about it? You know, like.
I mean, that's so, but you know, the same goes for the Hubbos. It's like probably how Cynthia felt about Peter. Like she probably felt like, even though Nene is her girl, it's like, okay, but I've dragged this person into this reality situation that because I'm part of it, and I need it to be known that I just can't let anyone be talking any type of way.
Well, then just say it, you know, but you like, you know, if you're gonna immediately say, oh, you're forgiven, and then make it a problem, you know, I don't hear about it 10 years later, you know, so like, if you need to have that out. It's just the problem is that Cynthia is not strong enough to stand up for herself in that moment. She wants to you know, basically the opposite of throwing a stone and hiding her hand. She wants to throw forgiveness and then actually take it back behind the scenes, you know, where it's like, you should have a conversation and be like, you know, I've had conversations with friends when I was married about like, okay, don't talk to my husband that way. Like, do I agree with what you're saying? But you don't talk to my husband that way, you know, and I think that like that's a fair conversation to have, but she was afraid of Nene for whatever reason, or like, you know, she doesn't know how to read someone, so.
Yeah, fame changes people.
Fame changes people, but Peter also
loser.
I'm sorry. Like his little get-rich-quick schemes, like needing her money. They're running around trying to borrow money for their wedding. Like, okay, that's a bad sign. That's a bad omen. Maybe you don't get married. You know, putting all your money into his bar. So, I love RHOA. Yeah, I gotta watch that again. I'm glad to be back in a Real Housewives bag. It's nice to be on something other than TikTok all the time.
I finally opened up my iPad and started my reading again.
Oh,
because
she's a scholar.
TikTok caught wind of the type of things I like to read and then started filtering that content to me. So then I was like, let me go see what's going on over there.
TikTok, you lost one.
And now they've actually done themselves dirty because I'm now reading again.
Yeah.
Thank you, TikTok. You reminded me of why I can't literally sit here and scroll this app. I'm even getting back into my anime watching. I finally decided that I needed to tackle One Piece.
Okay.
And my challenge with that has been, I know you don't care, and maybe most people won't, but my challenge with anime is that I prefer to watch it in Japanese with English subtitles. But because I had gone into reading manga and manhwa, I basically was like, well, I can't watch them speaking Japanese because I won't be able to understand what they're saying or follow any of the plot lines while I'm also reading. So I stopped watching anime altogether. And finally I was like, you know what? One Piece has 1,000 episodes anyway. Just watch the motherfuckers in English.
Yeah.
And so now I can do both again. And I feel so good.
I feel like you could just watch it in Japanese and you'll catch up. I feel like you can pick up on things, you know?
I mean, maybe, but we probably want different things, you know, like different things from the anime.
Okay. Oh, got it.
Because I want to fall in love with the Japanese voice actors. And so, like, I'm often, you know, when I watched Jujutsu Kaisen, I watched it in Japanese and English because I enjoy the series enough. And I, like, couldn't get through the English version because I was just like, oof, these voice actors sound
Why don't you start English and turn Japanese? Once you know the whole plot line.
That's not how it works.
Sorry. I'm trying to problem solve.
It's not how it works, but I get what you're saying. What I end up doing is if I like it enough, I'll watch it in both, and then I'll see what I like. Because I watched all of Naruto in English. I watched Naruto in English, but the voice acting cast is phenomenal in that show. Mostly because it is starting with children, so like my also thought process is not like, oh, like I'm watching these children grow up. But then, like, they only had certain episodes or seasons available in English. So at some point, I would have to switch over to Japanese. Now I'm deep. I'm in the trenches. I'm in the plot. I can't just not understand what's going on. Filler episodes, sure. The thing that's funny to me about anime is that, so my husband watched Naruto when he was growing up. He constantly will call it Naruto, which I also have to correct him on. And one time, as I was watching it, he kept calling it the Akatsuki. You know, because men just feel like they know everything. Uh-huh. And I was like, what did you say? It's pronounced Akatsuki. So I too can be a bit of a snobby corrector.
I too can. I remember
when it
in
comes to things.
high school, my friend called him Matisse Yahoo instead of Modest Yahoo.
That's too much though. Matisse.
Well, if you don't watch MTV every morning, how would you know how it's pronounced, you know?
True. But like, if you don't be fucking, you know what? First of all, I should have let him continue thinking that because let you walk around outside in the world at large, just calling it the Akatsuki.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy. I can be a corrector to people I know, but to strangers at a Travis Scott concert, insane.
I don't even remember what they were talking about.
We were talking about something specific and they just felt like they needed to insert themselves, but we were joking about something, you know? Like, you know when you have something, you say something so wrong that it just becomes part of your vocabulary, but you know it's wrong? Like, that's fine,
The Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, that, or I'm trying to think, I do this all the time, but I can't think of anything right now where I'm like, I say it so wrong as a joke and now I just say it that way. Like biscotti, like I just like, which honestly might be right. But what it got me thinking of was celebrities that have fan base names and celebrities that don't. So you have the Arianators, the Selenators, the Louboutins, the Swifties, the Smilers.
Louboutins?
Demi Lovato. Exactly.
No.
Now what are Sabrina Carpenter's called? The Woodworkers is what I think she should go with. I was thinking if Travis Scott had one, and I was like, if he doesn't, they should be called the Jackals. Drake has Aubrey's Angels. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
And like, who else is there?
Nicki Minaj.
Barb's. Beyonce has Beehive. Beehive. I think it's Beyonce. Beehive, I guess. Yeah, but they say Beehive. And then you have, who else? I feel like there's so many more, but like sometimes someone's like what do they call Olivia Rodrigo's fan base?
Nothing, because how does one, no. There's no way.
I'm just saying, you know, Megan Thee Stallion has the Hotties. I'm just saying, I'm like, someone determines this at some point and it catches on.
Go back to before the Louboutins. What else were you naming?
The Swifties, Arianators.
Okay.
Selenators.
Selena Gomez?
Yeah, Beliebers. Yep. Beliebers, okay. That's good. That's creative stuff. Every time I think of that,
That's pretty good.
When Big Sean, when we was dating Ariana Grande and she performed with Justin Bieber and he did something on stage that Big Sean didn't like, he's like, don't ever touch my woman again or I'm going to come for you. Believe that. I'm like, that's funny. And I just think that, Travis Scott should be the Jackals if they're not already because they're insane. And
I mean, it would have to be that because only people who truly are fans of him even know the lore. We found out from the clip that
we probably could have Googled it to find out. I mean, I knew.
Apparently his name is Jacques. Spelled in the French way.
I'm pretty sure it's like
Jacques.
Like,
No.
I don't think his family called him Jacques. Or Jacques or something, you know, like it's spelled that way, but calling him Jacques ain't no motherfucking way. His name is Jacques. Like
we find out like what was 21 Savage was British.
Yes.
We find out Travis Scott is French.
You know, I love the proper French pronunciation of things. I call Jean Jacques Jean-Jacques. When I was in India, someone asked me, or maybe I was in Atlanta, and it was one of my colleagues asked me, they were like, if you saw the name Jean, how would you think it was spelled? They said Jean, and they said, oh.
Not gonna fool me.
I'm a francophone.
Okay, my hard way. Shit hurt me every day. Get on my knees, pray. I'm trying to find another way. I gotta get up out this jungle. Niggas killing just to eat. Them lies ain't playing fair, so it's been getting I don't get my heart away. This shit hurt me every day. I get on my
You know, every time I see you drinking a Diet Coke, I think to myself,
I like Pepsi better.
what she really likes is the full fat
Pepsi. But what I really like is cold soda, you know?
I do think that one of the things we should consider doing for maybe one of the holiday specials is a redo of the taste test.
Should we do mini cans And I feel like canned is different than bottled.
I agree with you. The problem is
I don't want to buy a 12 pack
rarely,
of 12
yes, like I very rarely encounter singles.
That's why I was saying, should we do mini cans? Because if I have to buy a 12 pack of mini cans, that's much better than I feel like a 12 pack of full fat Coke
had
cans.
so many sodas. We had
right. So, but I'm saying that I could justify a mini Coke, right? Like 3 mini Cokes across the day, but I don't think I could justify 3 full fat Cokes across.
But cost-wise and just product-wise, I feel like a 2-liter or even a 24-ounce singlet of whatever soda we're trying to taste test makes a lot more sense than I have to have 9 different. I mean,
Well,
we can skip the cherries.
Yeah,
because
what if we
we're
just
so
do
good at this.
diet, regular, and zero? That's only 6.
Yeah, I mean, if we're skipping the cherries,
and then at least 2/3 of those we'll continue to enjoy, right?
I mean, yeah.
Because the diets, and then the 1/3 will be our little treat.
I mean, I could definitely offload full Cokes.
Yeah. Okay. Switching topics. I was counting up. I have 6 trips left this year.
I told you that your
actually
travel schedule looks ridiculous.
Now,
in my
a lot
calendar.
of them are like short. You know, they're a couple of days. So it's like, okay, it seems like I'm living a full life, but really I'm gone for like maybe a total of what? 12 days over 6 trips.
That's not the point. It's that every weekend I look at my calendar, you are traipsing off somewhere else.
She's a jet setter. And then I was counting my trips from the beginning half of the year, and I think I did 5 or 6. It wasn't until, I think Paris was our first trip, but I did Paris, I did Atlanta, I did definitely India, and I got back from Phoenix recently. Is that it? I feel like there was something else in there.
Say them again. Paris,
Atlanta,
India.
I did that day trip to Phoenix. Houston.
Bonnaroo.
Yeah. So a total of 12 trips this year is what I'll have taken.
Wow.
I know. Mostly domestic.
But we can't all be traipsing off to the far reaches of the East.
We all can't be traipsing off to Japan for 2.5 weeks. So
it's only 2 weeks, but I did finally book the ticket to get me to Dallas.
Okay.
Which leaves like 3 days before, unfortunately, because your girl needed to fly first class, and that was the cheapest option.
I'm going to Chicago for work, and I'm like, I need to upgrade this ticket. Now it's a big cost.
What are you flying?
American.
Have you looked at how many miles it would take to upgrade the ticket?
I have. I don't have that many.
How
you got
much
miles?
does it take to buy the miles?
Oh, I should look. I was actually going to ask you for this trick. Now, the other thing is that I need to book a flight to Phoenix for this thing that the global org does. This is not for work. This is for free work. And I'm like, okay, I know they're not going to reimburse for a first class ticket, right? But I'm like, I feel like I should do coach and then upgrade on my own dime. But like, so I have to figure that out too. So I'm like, now I have 2 more trips to figure out first class. And then if I do these right, I will have solidified my stance of this girl don't fly coach. Okay. I feel like it's very important to solidify that stance in my life.
Okay.
So I got to get through 2 more big spends before I'm because before we go to Disney World. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
How much is it to upgrade?
$600.
Both ways? Or just
I
one
think
way?
just one way.
No.
No, wait, it might be both ways. It's not cost prohibitive, but it's like, well, maybe it'll go down or maybe it'll sell out. Ugh, now I'm really in for it, So,
Yeah.
but then I'm like,
How much is it in miles?
I think it's 60,000 miles.
That's a lot. I paid 40,000 miles for a fly from here to Dallas total. But it was like a $700 ticket to fly first.
Let's see. How do you buy the miles?
When you're searching and you are looking in miles and it's like you don't have enough, you can put the thing on hold and then go basically like it'll give you the option of like, oh, I need to buy more, purchase miles.
I'm like, there's no way. I don't know how people gain enough miles for this. So I'm like, if it were both ways $600, I think that's different. But one way, I'm like,
No,
that
I
sounds
would
like
wait.
shit.
I feel like that's one of those things where it's like, I have a friend who has a rule about this where it's basically for each hour of flight time, if I think my comfort is worth $100 an hour, basically, is the rule that they will use. For me, I feel like anything over 3 hours, I want to upgrade, but if it is not economically reasonable,
I agree,
then
like
just don't.
$1,200. No. Because to me, it's like, you also don't want to just upgrade one. I'm like, I mean, it is better than nothing, but like, it feels like a downgrade, you know? When you fly out first and you fly back coach, boo. Fly out coach, boo, but fly back first, it's a little better, but then you're already on your way home, so you're kind of like, oh, whatever, you know? Like, you've already ended the good part of this trip. But I agree, that's too steep a cost. I do find that the non-Southwest carriers, like I find like Delta is more comfortable in coach than Southwest in general. They got the TVs and everything, you know?
Yeah.
And they got superior snacks, I think. And so, but like I've said before, Southwest is great because we're all equally broke.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
I feel like I would wait and see what it's like the day before when you're checking in and just keep checking it. My sweet spot is when it eventually drops to like 150, then it's like,
well, yeah, that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
To me, I find that it often drops to like 400 or something, and that's still like,
it's a little much.
150 to 300, I feel like I could convince myself really easy, you know? 400, because now double both ways, that we're looking close to 1,000, that's too much. 300, that's close to 500. You know, that's not so bad. So I can be convinced, but we'll see. Anyways. What else do you want to talk about?
Dude, your fucking text back to me was so dumb. I was like, this is why we're sisters, because that's so fucking rude as a response. He said, good for you.
Who said that?
You!
To what? Oh.
To anything.
Well, what do you want me to say? Like, okay,
And
you didn't
question mark. What did you think? What did it say? No inquisitive, just good for you.
You should offer that immediately instead of wanting me to ask the question. If you wanted to tell me something about it, then tell me something about it. Don't make me be like it's like no, I don't play that.
Have you seen it? Have
No.
you not seen it? Yeah. Any additional information could provide?
If you had that question, you should have asked that. Like, I watched it. Have you seen it? I have thoughts. Like, no, but you just said, I watched it. Cool fucking story, you know? Like, what do I care? It's like when people say, oh, I have to tell you something. Actually, I can't tell you. And they want you, what? Tell me.
It is nothing like that.
And then they say, no, I can't. And then they want you to beg. Like me, when people say, I can't tell you, I can't tell you, I say, okay.
Well, I just had assumed because you were ranting about it the other day that I was like, oh, I finally got up to speed.
Okay.
Anyhow.
I didn't see his website. I saw that one video.
I just was commenting on how when I read what you said, I was like, bitch. And then I was like, you're the only one who could fucking respond to me like that. And for me to be like, whatever. Anyone else? Just good for you.
I love being a sister. Could you imagine a life without a sister? Is it any life at all, honestly?
No.
Sounds like hell. I don't know how people do it.
Truthfully, when I watch Judge Judy and people are like suing their sister, I'm just like, ugh, couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
So what I wanted to say was, as our listeners, as our longtime subscribers, as our podcast perusers know, we are a lot of opinions and very little research. So what I'm about to say is right in vein with that. There is apparently an election for city council taking place in Houston. I've done zero
H-Town, yeah. Meg Thee
research.
Stallion's hometown. We're very in tune with the Houston political landscape.
I have no idea what matters to the Houstonians, like the true Houstonians at all. You all seem, not Houstonians, but Texans seem to continue re-electing Ted Cruz for whatever reason. So I'm not exactly sure what goes on over in that state, largely. But if you happen to be in the Houston area or know someone in the Houston area, there is a person running for city council named Jordan Thomas that I don't know what his platform is. I don't know what he stands for, but I know he's a good guy.
Public transportation was a big part of it. And I think he was assistant city councilman, so he has the experience.
Okay.
He is a project manager by trade, and as a fellow project manager, I already know he's a slay.
True endorsement. True endorsement.
Because to have the 50,000-foot view of everything that's going on and be able to consolidate that into an executable plan is a skill that everyone thinks they have. You don't.
No.
You don't have it.
I know I don't have it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty smart.
You're very smart.
And I know I don't have that.
But to fire on all cylinders and rise up like a phoenix from the ashes, that's what a project manager does.
Yeah.
So I've seen this campaign.
Oh, you saw
I saw the
campaign
campaign video.
Okay.
It came across my feed because, like I say, I'm very in tune with the H-Town political landscape, okay? I'm a very politically oriented gal. And so I agree. I think he's a great candidate, a good person.
He is getting the Pretty and Pride endorsement, seal of endorsement.
Vote Jordan Thomas for City Council, Houston.
There you go.
Yeah. Go Birds. No. Go Astros. That was a really good thing that you brought up. I love how interested you are also in all politics, federal, local, and global.
I mean, you're going to Utah. I told you that's not the place for you right now.
I think it is because it was white on white crime. The coloreds weren't involved this time. No. My skin folk and my kinfolk was not involved. Now, I'm like, everything can be cheaper. You know what's funny? I was going to lunch with a friend on Sunday, and I had to valet my car. And she's like, did you tip before you got out of the car? I said, no. And she was like, oh my gosh. Like that's how you guarantee that nothing happens to your car and like all of these things can happen. I've heard all these conversations. And I'm like, look, I operate under the assumption that only good things happen to me, you know? Like, I live my life that way. I'm not gonna worry about those things. I feel like, first of all, even if something did happen to my car, I've always benefited from a car insurance claim. Like, so it's like, even if I follow your train of thought, I'm still going to believe that if they do something crazy to my car, great, I get to sue them and make money. Like, everything is going to turn up, everything's turning up Kiki.
She's tipping before she gets she tips when she drops the car off and picks it up?
Yes, because she's afraid that something's gonna happen to her car. Hey, that's great. For me, everything is gonna turn into something for my best good. And so it's like, first of all, I don't believe that anything bad would happen to my car. But even if I did believe anything bad, I know that thing would be great for me at the end because that's how my life runs. And so, very similarly to going to Utah, you say don't go to Utah because they're killing people. They're killing person, and because they're killing person. And I think, well, maybe my hotel will be cheaper now. You know, like somehow I'm not scared something's gonna happen to me. But maybe something good will happen to me because of it. And so. That's how my life runs. That's how I operate. It's all going to work out in my favor. And yeah, so same with going to Utah. I'm going to be fine.
Wow.
And also, I'm not like these other girls. I'm not afraid of death. Like, honestly, sweet release. And I'm
very
afraid
dystopian.
of being maimed. And I'm afraid of being unable to, like, live the fullest of my life.
Okay.
But the actual death, maybe the pain, you know, but, like, I'll be all right, you know. That's part of life. That's the circle of life. Just like
a different dystopian take than the dystopian take I've been ruminating on for the past week or so, which is I've become so numb to the violence that just is inherent in our society. Like every time Apple News tells me that there's a school shooting, I just have this response of like,
gosh.
you know, oh. You know, like,
it's so hard.
I just can't get wrapped up. You know, I've like, it's like my brain can't process it anymore. So I've just become like this.
It's so much.
Unresponsive.
Yeah,
like
and that's what they want. And that's
know?
what's so scary. But it's like, you do have to protect your own personhood in a way and like your own mental, like, because ultimately you still do have to go to work tomorrow. You know, you got bills to pay. And like, it's very tough to like, yeah, it is dystopian because it's like, I feel so stressed out that I almost have to disconnect, which is a privilege I recognize, but like, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
So all that to say, I just really don't like what that is. I'm like, I need to get out of here because like this needs to stop being so normal that my reaction is just like another one, you know, and then I'm back at work, you know, just clicking away.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's just diabolical.
So you have any weekly ins and outs?
Weekly ins and outs. I really want to try these Reese's that you brought.
I already have my pumpkin. Okay, so out for me is I'm going on a trip and I'm going to try to not check a bag. It's scary stuff. Okay.
What's out?
I'm about to explain it if you'd be a little patient.
Good for you.
But as I think about that, I have to try to find my toiletries that meet the requirements of TSA. And I never have to think about this. And I actually don't think I'm capable of doing it. So I texted my friend. I said, what do you have that I can use? Because I don't think they make, I've looked at the stores, they don't have my face wash in TSA requirement size. And I don't want to put it in
I don't think I understand TSA requirements because...
I don't think so either. And I feel like with
I think
pre-check,
it's
it's a lot
liquids.
easier. And that's what I think too. But they consider shampoo liquid. That's gelatinous. Like...
viscous.
So I'm understanding this.
Yeah,
now,
I don't think so. I know either. Because, like, what about lotions?
Lotions, for sure. They've made me throw lotion away before.
And creams?
Yes. Now with pre-check, I feel you get away with a lot more because, it's in the back. But the problem is that I always check that stuff. So I've never really, except for that one time I had like this, I had one of those Bath and Body Works lotions that I had gotten as a gift. I was using it as hand lotion. And they were like, ma'am. And so like, okay, fine. My dangerous lily of the valley scent, sure. But like, I just feel like it's honestly misogyny. Like it's anti-woman. Like I don't want to use hotel lotion. So like, and like, even when I'm like looking at the hair product to buy for the curls, I'm like, I'm going to go through this curl souffle in three seconds. And so I'm like, so now do I have to go shopping when I get there instead? That's really wasteful.
When is this trip?
Tomorrow.
Well, no, you're out of luck.
Well, I mean, when I get to the place, I can go shopping. I can stop at the store and pick up some stuff.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, and I also don't want to transfer like my nice expensive face wash into a TSA acceptable. And now I'm annoyed that I've spent days, ruminating on what am I going to do, So we'll see what I do tomorrow. I can't believe hair product counts. It's insane. And so...
It's all performative. That's very frustrating.
It is very frustrating. Like, I don't know how other people just don't check bags all the time. And I never think about this, so I don't know what to do.
Because other people aren't even washing their feet or the bottom half of their bodies.
So true.
So other people are completely fine grabbing the bar of soap that the hotel puts as the hand soap and that they use for their body and just putting it on their face and washing their face with it. They're not carrying 14 freaking skincare products like you.
That's why y'all look like shit. I texted my friend and I said, well, what do you have that I can use? She's like, I don't think my stuff's going to be up to your standards. And I said, you're wrong. You know how I know you're wrong? Because when my bag got delayed for that entire trip of India, before I went shopping, I had to use that hotel soap and that hotel lotion. Now, I did have my skincare because I had those little mini bags that I take on the plane with me. But for body, I was like, I never do that. I have sensitive skin. And I survived all of one night doing that. And so I feel like I can survive. I mean, whatever she may have.
I feel like you can survive anything for a weekend, right?
Yes.
Like this is not the rest of your life.
But who wants to travel and feel like they're like freaking in survival mode washing their clothes in a tub and shit? Okay, I'm not doing all that, but that's what it feels like. I want to feel like I've taken the comforts of home with me. And so we'll see what I'm going to do. But that's why I'm like, I guess I'll just go shopping and that'd be wasteful and buy, $50 of toiletries when I get there.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, like if you think lotion's $10, I feel like I can get away with no lotion, no body soap, and maybe face wash she'll have. And then I feel like my serums and my eye cream and my day cream and my night cream will all be fine. And then I have to buy hair product. So maybe it's less than $50.
What about your sunscreen?
I feel like my sunscreen's fine.
This is also why I have to check a bag whenever I have curly hair. Because the hair care alone is like
that's
the most frustrating part.
But I feel like...
What about blowing out your hair?
I'm not blowing out my hair because I'll probably go swimming.
Okay.
But I feel like it's like I'm flying first class. It's a 2.5 day trip. I get the convenience of I don't have to worry about them gate checking my bag. I have all the room that I need. Like the room, I feel like I'll be fine. It's just a matter of like the stuff that I want to bring. Anyways,
why not check your carry-on? Why not just check a bag? Even if it's a smaller bag that you could normally take through the airport, why not just check it?
I feel like if I do that, well, because you know how we have that bag that goes on top of a bag?
Yeah.
Like you can't take that without checking a bag. If you check your bag, Because I'm not lugging it on my shoulder the whole time.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk about this.
That's out for me. We'll figure out what I do. I haven't packed yet, so maybe I'll pack and I'm like, actually, I'm just gonna bring my big check bag.
I have my computer bag that you can use as a
great my business vacation
personal item. Well, because at least it rolls.
We'll see. I don't think I need to check a bag. If I end up doing that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's a 2.5 day trip. but I do like to bring all my shoes and my clothes and my options. Then I'm like, I could go shopping for a dress if I anyway.
I mean, I suppose at the end of it, you can pop over to Walmart, get yourself some hair care products.
Exactly.
But like,
not the big deal. And my friend did say
check it on the way
that
back if you really
she
want
could
to.
get it out to me the next time I see her.
All right.
All right. Well, this is another great episode. I love how we dove into Real Housewives. It's one of my favorite topics.
I do too.
I actually
and
thought we
I
were
do
going to talk
think,
about that more when we started our podcast. I feel like we haven't talked
I
about it at
know.
all.
I feel like we've definitely tried to be like in the culture of everything, but then life bogs us down so much. So much is moving so fast. But I think that at some point we should consider doing a joint rewatch of either Real Housewives of Atlanta or Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And then we replace the or. Let's make it an and.
Okay.
So, anyways, thanks for joining. We will catch everyone up with our lives next week. In the meantime,
Oh, next week we're going to Seattle.
yes,
It's going to be so fun for you guys.
we will be on the socials at Bissy is Fine, at Moncherie Kiki, sharing snippets of our trip, but we are going to truly attempt to vlog this trip.
Yes.
Bring you along on the
gosh.
journey. We'll probably have to be a little bit delicate about our airport because we're still trying to not be doxxed by our 20 subscribers.
Yes.
Stay pretty.
Stay prideful.
You can't finesse. Bitch, I move smart like a motherfucking Tesla. I'm clutching this Glock, do I look like a wrestler? Get put on your back, tryna act like a flexer. Hold on, wait, this Glock take him out like a date. She give me the pussy, I just want the face. Fuck her real good, put the bitch in her place. I'm high in the bitch, but my mind up in space.